Is that it? Welcome to my channel. Shelley vocalist. He said, put some flowers in the shot, he said. Didn't mean in the middle where you can't see my face. Can you see me now? I'm not about the table. I don't need stop the dog between my legs. Sorry. It's not what you want, is it? Get off! Stop it! So, today we are making homemade mince pie, just like your mum used to make. Plate pie. I got a bad lip. I just haven't been punched in the face. Just not very well. Have we gone for the Nigeria angle today?
Tell you what a relief.
I've seen her on MasterChef. I'm bang that. Can I? Don't bang. No, bang. I thought he says bang because I could bang. I'm very dramatic. I was watching it on MasterChef, right? I can't name like that. Watching it on MasterChef. She's going. Okay, that's not right, is it? It's cooking food, man. Come on. Right, so we'll make pie. That's what we're making. So the ingredients today, very, very simple, very, very easy. Homemade mince pie. I can't laugh that much, my face hurts. This is all you're going to need for plate pie. Mince over here, I think I paid about $5.70 for that. 80 cents I think it is. Margarine. An onion if you want it. No, bang it. This is, I'm cheating, well I'll tell you this one first. This is plain flour for short crust pastry because I like short crust on the bottom and I like flaky on the top. It's just as cheap. If you want to cut the price down, you don't have to put the flake on the bottom and just use the short crust on the top as well. But me, I'm just me. It's just how I like it. And of course, a couple of Oxos and golden fry gravy granules. Cheapest chips, £1. Yeah. Over here, about £2.50. £1 in Iceland. So that's it. So we're going to make some pastry first. It needs to go into the fridge to cool and rest for half an hour. Because it stops the shrinking. If you've ever made a pie, put it in the oven, you come out and it's been this big and it's fallen off your plate, that's the reason why. Haven't rested it. Or you've mucked about it too much. See? I know stuff, me. I surprised myself. I can't open my mouth that much, it's killing us. Right, okay. Let's make some pastry. Keep that down. You're recording and you don't do that. Don't say that on telly. Right, so preheating the oven at around about 200. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I have to take my ring off. That's it. Free! Rings off. Both rings are off. Jewellery's off.
Turn out.
Why don't you take yours off? Showing. Right now, because over the years, my mum used to bake a lot. And plain flour, I've got this in Iceland, paid a fortune for it. Plain flour, you basically need whatever amount of plain flour you put in, say half the amount of butter. I've never measured because my mum never measured, so I wouldn't know where to go measure. So, but that's approximately what it is. So you can measure whatever you want. So if you put 200 of flour in here, I'm making 3 pies here, so I need a little bit of decent amount. So we need a fair bit of butter. So you'd measure that out, just under half of same of butter. Margarine. And you're supposed to have freezing cold hands. Make sure your hands are not warm because it doesn't bode well with the butter. So it says chop into cubes. This is how I do it. I just kind of wing it, right? But I've never had a bad pie yet. Yeah, let's try it from there. I'm not putting that in. Put it in the bin. And sprinkle in the salt. About half a teaspoon. Don't panic when I get some of Rick's massive kitchen roll for his OCD. Have you shown him how big that is? He hasn't. This is Rick's. Just in case he runs out, he needs his OCD kitchen roll. Unreal, isn't it? So all you're doing, like I say, make sure you have cold hands. If you're Cuban, you get your margarine in.
Cuban Pete.
If you're Cuban Pete, don't bother. You basically just use the end of your fingertips. Any chefs watching wants to get no judging. No judging. Just running through the ends of your fingers, trying to keep it away from the palms of your hands because that's the hottest part. And you just lift it up and gently feed it through, rubbing it together in with the flour.
Nigella shot.
Nigella shot. That's what she does, doesn't she? She's very funny. She makes some great stuff like, but crikey Moses. You just keep doing this until it's all rubbed in. If by any chance you want to make like apple crumble or something like that, you're supposed to always use self-raising flour for this, plain flour for that. If you haven't got any plain flour in the house, right, I've made pastry with plain flour, with self-raising flour. It doesn't really make that much difference, to be honest, for this. And if you want to make crumble, when you actually do this, all you're actually doing is adding sugar to this to sweeten the pastry up. And then you don't bring it together as a pastry, you just sprinkle it on top as a crumble.
Top tip alert.
Top tip. Yeah. So, see the butter's starting to break down now and go into the flour, and it's starting to go breadcrumby. So at this point, I'll just keep going through, getting rid of all of the big lumps, because you don't want big lumps. Is that Nigella on the phone? Okay, you see now, all of the butter is kind of just breadcrumby kind of consistency. I'm just chucking it everywhere. So I've got it everywhere. Pastry's not the cleanest of things. What were we up to? Right, we've rubbed the butter into the flour. So all you need to do now is you're going to add some water, cold water, into the breadcrumb-like mixture, if you like, and bring it together. And then that's it. So we just need some water. Hold the line one moment. Oh look, I'm covered in this now. Didn't think this through, did I? I'll just have a little bit more. Shut up! He's laughing at me. It's only a tiny little bit, it's not going to kill you. Do you want us to use bottled water? No? Honestly, you're right. Can I see that on YouTube? I can't see that on YouTube. Why? Well, my Fanny Craddock, she had a name. And my Fanny Craddock. Couple of tablespoons in. Just put it round. And it should start to come together. Just gently teasing it. A bit like the pasta dough, really. Pastry always works better if it's not handled too much. So, slight squeeze, come together, tiny little bit more. If you add a little bit of at a time, then you can control how much water you're actually putting into it. Because if you put too much water in, then it won't come together. I mean, if you put too much water in, just chuck a bit of flour in. A little bit, and then you should be fine. So, there you go. That's your pastry, shortcut pastry ready made. That is now going to go into the fridge for half an hour to rest, and then let the gluten relax, and then it won't shrink in your oven. What are you laughing at? Relaxing gluten. Ask me, I'm very relaxed. My gluten's very relaxed. Right, so I'm going to put this away for now. So, pastry's resting in the fridge. Now we're moving on to the mince. While the thing is rested. It's the sharpest knife I've got. Yes, I do know it's a bread knife. Do not fear. I'm just open it up. Take the outskirts off. Get rid. Tiny as you go, as they would say. Roughly slice your onions. Doesn't have to be anything major. As you can see, Nigella's got nothing on me. Put your pan on. And just gently start frying your onions off. Wooden spoon. Once they're fried for a little bit, you will then add your mince. In the meantime, this is one of the pies I'm going to make. You just need to grease. You've done that. You can stick your hands in, you can stick wherever you want in. Just grease the plate. Stops it sticking. And that'll be that. Ready to go. I do like the smell of onions, mind. yin yongs. So we'll put a little splash of oil in just to stop your onions sticking to the pan. Not too much because then it'll go into your pie. Right, just turn it down a bit. You don't have to buy the whole thing.
So delicate and elegant.
Oh, well, be warned, love, be very warned. Right, they are going to cook a bit longer, so add your mince. You don't need any more oil in this because there will be fat in your mince that's going to come off. Depending on what kind of mince you're using, you might need to drain some of the fat off. Don't leave all of the fat in the mince all the time because it's a bit yucky. It's a bit yucky. I like frozen mince. This is not frozen mince. Frozen mince kind of cooks. I just think, you know, years and years ago you kind of get mince and it tastes different to the mince. It's like you get the stuff out the butchers and it tastes like proper butcher meat. Whereas now you buy your stuff in your supermarkets, it just tastes very mass produced and it's injected with water, and whereas frozen mince doesn't seem to be like that. It tastes beefy if you like. Well, that's if you buy beef mince, like. It's not burning, it's just the pan. Now I'm wondering, because I am making 3 pies and Rick wants a big fat deep one, we might add a little bit. A little bit more. Shush. So I'm going to cook all this off. It's only a small one, the next one. I'm going to cook it off and then I'll just freeze whatever I want. Otherwise it's going to be eating mince pie for 3 days and forever. And that's it. We'll come back to you shortly when the mince is cooked. Well, this is a bit apparently where you get your banter going. Normally I think you'd be expecting this time we'll be having drinks. Is it too early? It's 12 for drinks. It's 2:45, 23. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, isn't it? Oh, dog's like, just checking the oven for you. This is still just frying off. There's a lot of mince in here, look. So you just keep turning it. Should we have a beer? Look what we got. We got this off the Indian restaurant just for being a birthday. Do you want a half of one with me? Do you want a half or do you want a full one?
No,
We'll just try a half, shall we? Still nothing added. Let's reduce them down now, look. Rounding it off. In the meantime, I'm just going to have a bit of a beer. Got my thing out. How does this one work?
You never open
I don't know, not this one. Listen, I have screw tops, I've got bottles of gin. How does this work?
All the way.
I'm doing it that way, but... Oh! Ahaha! I did it. But I've never had this before. Cheers. It's very dark, isn't it? Not the best thing I've ever tasted, that mind.
You need to become a better influencer.
Sorry, sold in any good supermarket. I will, I'm sure you can get this on Amazon, so I'll put the links below. Or in the description. Right, I can heat this cooking away. We are going to need to add some water, because that's what you do. We'll have some proper water for this, because this is going to make gravy. So, like a bit of gravy me, like. Screaming. The mince is screaming. I'm going to put some more in next it. Oh, like gravy. I don't think Nigella fights with that cameraman, mind, does she? Right, okay. I did watch a vlog once with Michel Roux. That's a proper good chef, right? And he said, oh no, it wasn't Michel Roux. It was, anyway, he said, you should never leave your wood stick in the pan, your wood spoon in the pan, while your food's cooking. Because basically then you're cooking wood, and yeah, don't want to cook wood. I'll cook mince. Right, I've just taken the pastry out of the fridge. So all basically going to do now is roll it. In the meantime, that's a lot of flour. You just need to sprinkle it, you don't need too much. In the meantime, this is going to come up to the boil. It's just the mince and the water and onions at the minute. That's all that is. You just need to kind of gauge on how much you think it's going to need to cover your plate. Like I say, I've got 3 plates, so you don't need it too thick. This is the size of plate I'm going to cover. Should be enough. If it's not, then we'll just have to do another one. Just try and keep it basically the shape. It's very yellow, the butter I use. Can you see how yellow it is? Keep turning it every time. Roll from the middle to up. You shouldn't really roll from the bottom down. Because that's just what me home economics teacher said. So I'm like, well, I'll go with her. You haven't got time, you roll down. Well, on your head be it. I roll this side a bit. My mum used to do that. So keep rolling it. Don't have it too thick because it's nothing worse than thick pastry, is it? That's alright. Now it's sticking to the bottom. Fabulous. Cooking with nails. A joy. Right, if it does that, just stick it. Cover it over. It's fine. Right, now measure it against your pie. It's just about there. Just the edges really, isn't it? That'll be fine. So once again, same as pastry of your pizza. Roll it over onto there. Because this is going on your base as well, you make any difference how good, bad or indifferent it is. So if it splits, just push it down, fold it over and it will be fine. Not a problem. See, stick a bit on the end. Ta-da! So at that point just chop off your random bits. Just make sure they're not too big. Don't cut it to the plate as yet. Chop off your random bits. I'd be careful because grow. And just put that to one side. Back to the mince. It's starting to come up to boil now because it was water out the fridge. Up to Tenerife, you can't really use too much of the water from anywhere else. I'm going to squash in a couple of oxo cubes, beef stock cubes, anything along that kind of line. Try and bring them up. Otherwise, you know, it's in. You're supposed to, you've seen this, you know, you're supposed to open it up like a pillow, squeeze it on each side, and then it starts to break up. And this is how you're supposed to do it. You can be there all day, to be honest. I haven't got time to faff about. Stock cubes in. Okay, a little bit of salt, teaspoon of salt and pepper, panko. Just to shush it up, like a bit of shushing. Don't be shushing. And then the mince just needs to boil for a little bit. Any bits off the side. Oh, I'm roasting. Okay, while we're here, what I can do is show you this. This is what I have. Pre-made, ready rolled plate pastry. You find the end. As you're rolling it out, hold it on one side, roll it out. Well, that's just there already, isn't it? You can even, if you don't want to make a pie, you can't put the faff about. Get one of these, I used to do this. Make the mince, and then just cut them into squares, bung it in the oven, and just fluffs up like pillows. Stick it on top of your mince. Very, very nice. So, you smile at me, because it's not very business, is it? Right, so the mince has been boiling a little while. So we're just going to add cheap chips, gravy granules. Because if you put it in gently, sprinkle, for those people who haven't used this before, this thickens really, really quickly. It's very, very tasty though. Don't get me wrong, it's not as good as Bisto Best. But, stick dinner pie like, it'll do the job. It's all in the name of saving money nowadays, isn't it? Keep stirring and make sure it dissolves. So, as it happens, I'll have another one. Crack the egg into said dish. Not a problem. Get rid of the egg. Now at this point I need to find like a because Rick does the washing and then hides things. The dog's at the door. So all I'm doing is mixing the egg. All this is just an egg wash to go on top of your pie. You don't have, just use milk, but it's like emergency, just gives you a better gloss. Right, so we already have our pie here made. Don't just pour all of your mince into this because you're going to have too much gravy. So I would suggest that you kind of fan it out a bit take some of the gravy out because it tends to spill in the bottom of your oven.
Why are you cooking the wood?
I'm not cooking, it's off the... It isn't actually cooking anymore. Do you want to hold it? Don't overfill your pie, because if you do, like I say, it'll just spill all over the place. Okay. That's about enough. Right, this is just the water. Stick your hands in, run it around the outside. This is just giving something to stick to. Right. So now at this point, all you want to do is you put your chopper on it. Doesn't come off mad easy, so you can just flip it over on top of your pie and peel back. Don't forget, once again, the colder your hands are, the easier the pastry will work with you. My hands are warming up now because I've been working like Jack Flash. That's what I've been working like. Rick's just standing there like a BBC One cameraman. Oh, it's sticking. Because of the heat, see? Hey, oh, this is not very good. Gone warm, actually. Why do I always disasters when you're up here? Never is it you? This never happens.
Disaster cookery shows are the ones that get all the most hits on YouTube.
I'm not having a disaster cookery show, like. Oh my god, come on. Behave. It's like flaming glue.
So for any of the male chefs out there, they need to make sure they got the nails done before and they can do this bit.
Yeah. Come on, no holes, no holes, no holes. Stupid. Well, that's not going to come out looking very pretty, is it? Never mind. Right, okay. Seal it together. My hands are sweating now. On the edge. My sister will look at this and laugh her head off, saying, Joanne, that's the worst pie you've ever made in your life. She will. Look at that, you see. Hot mince. Still nice. You're alright. Tis fine. Put a hold them in it, middle, to let steam out. Brush the top. This cooking in Tenerife thing's really hot. Cook some food, they said. It'd be fine, they said. That's what you said. I'm now chucking it in the oven. Do not fear. It's going in the oven till it's cooked. Probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Don't forget, push buttons, ring the bell and share. Jesus. Stop filming me now! So, that's what we're up to. It's looking alright now. It's the heat in this kitchen's ridiculous. So I'm just going to stick another one in at the back. Turn the oven down a little bit because I don't want this to burn. It tends to be at the front. Burns a bit. You go and then cook iron ovens. We'll just turn it down. It's too hot to be cooking. And that's where we're at, people. We'll be back when they're finished. You're still filming? Don't be filming me anymore. So I've just tidied up. Pie's been cooking. Pie's been cooking.
And retake.
One plate pie. You see, it looked alright, didn't it? And the other one is still. There it is. So, one plate pie. Press the thumbs up. Push the buttons and stuff. Ring the bell and share. Thanks very much. Bye.